Okay, folks, I'm going to do a stitch. And this one is kind of heartbreaking for me because honestly, I can't believe how far we've gone in the wrong direction and how much women believe it's their duty to go backward in time. So this woman is apparently responding to people who say stay-at-home wives are lazy. Well, she's right. That's ridiculous. And she should clap back. But I'm 56 years old, and this woman's logic is kind of terrifying to me. Listen up.
Probably gonna be a hot take, but I genuinely believe that it is so much harder to become a wife, to build a family, to serve, love, and nurture a husband than it is to be a businesswoman or a woman with a really successful career.
Okay, wait, what? Did you say serve? Serve like a servant? Serve like he's your master? Yeah, Savannah, if your husband was like, hey, you want to be my wife and serve me? Then it makes perfect sense why your autonomous businesswoman self would have had a hard time becoming that servant. It sounds like it was harder to go from doing what you love to do to taking care of a man who wanted you to stop being you and start being a subordinate. At least that's how you describe it. But let's go on.
Becoming a wife and stepping into the mindset and becoming the woman that I needed to be for my husband was 10 times harder than any business that I ever started, than jumping from being employed to being a full-time business owner. Becoming a wife was so much harder than any of that. I had a lot of inner work to do.
Stepping into the mindset and becoming the woman I needed to be for my husband? Weren't you the kind of woman he loved just the way you were? If not, what? He married you on the condition you'd change? You had a lot of inner work to do, to forget who you naturally were before you had to mold yourself to someone else's liking? See, that should have been hard. You were already fabulous. What a cool woman. You started businesses. You worked hard. You were inspired. You had goals. Who wouldn't have had a hard time switching into the mindset that all that was great, but you needed to be a different kind of woman for your husband? If my husband needed me to change so he felt fulfilled, I'd end up resenting the shit out of him. I've been with him for 27 years, married for 23. The only thing I asked him to change was how to pick out flowers and produce, because I hate supermarket mixed bouquets and crappy produce. Aside from that, we've gotten some parenting guidance and relationship guidance along the way, but neither of us have ever expected the other to become somebody we weren't, or subvert our own needs for each other. The whole point is to be comfortable enough in relationship to be more of who you organically are, not to become more of who you think the other person wants you to be. Anywho, there's more.
I think it's so crazy when I get comments calling me lazy for being a stay-at-home wife, when those people that comment that know that they are nowhere near ready to become a woman that serves and loves and nurtures her husband, or a woman who can take care of a home, or a woman who can build a nuclear family. They know that they're not capable of that.
Okay, well, again, stay-at-home wives and moms are not lazy. That's bullshit. Momming is freaking hard. But again, the language, become a woman that serves and loves and nurtures her husband. I mean, that sounds like such a job, like a handmaiden's duty. The whole concept of serving is creepy. It's got like religious, sexual, slave undertones. If you fall in love, you don't need to work on transitioning that into serving, loving, and nurturing. It's just love. It grows. You grow together. You support each other. You give and take. You discover more about each other. You learn each other's edges. You build history. It's not so transactional. You don't have to make it a job or a duty. Let's finish up.
My number one priority in this life is creating a family unit, is creating a happy and healthy, strong family, because that is the only thing that is actually going to heal society. But I have lived both lives, and I can tell you right now, being a wife has been so much harder than it was when I was a businesswoman.
Okay, this is probably the scariest part. Isn't it convenient for the right-wing machine to have convinced women that the only thing that is going to heal the society is for them to become the women they need to be for their husbands, and not for the men to become whole enough humans to accept women for who they are? See, Savannah, this whole notion that society's health turns on your willingness to submit and serve isn't about the betterment of America. It's about the betterment of the patriarchy. Frankly, it's a raw deal for both sexes. It assumes both sexes are far less capable than they are. And so I would really encourage you to rethink this whole notion of becoming anything for anyone, especially for the singular purpose of serving, because you're already more than enough. And I promise you, as a woman who has been with a man for 27 years, being anything but absolutely, unapologetically, fervently yourself in relationship is a waste of time. But I will say, Savannah, tell those people who say being a stay-at-home wife or mom is lazy to have the day they deserve. Yeah.